Hello, hi. Welcome to the session. Myself, Dr. P. Sivaranjani, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application, handling advanced RDMS, Relational Database Management System for first MC student. Today we'll discuss about UML class diagram. UML is nothing but unified UML is nothing but unified methodology, which will help you to draw a ER diagram in a diagrammatic flow, or by using your entity relationship diagram. So here the UML methodology is being used extensively in software design and has many type of diagrams for the various software design purpose. The UML class diagram can be considered as an alternative notation for your entity diagrams. So this is the ER diagram. This figure represents the ER diagram, that is UML diagram notations for an employee table. So here we have a class called as an employee and some derived classes. So this diagram will represent how the what are the attributes which has been available inside each and every classes. So here we have a superclass called as an employee and many subclasses such as a department, projects, and the dependent, and what kind of work has been done by the particular employee. All such activity has been shown in the UML diagram very clearly. So UML class diagram. A class is a display as a box that includes a tree section. The top section gives the class name similar to the entity type name. The middle section includes the attributes, and the last section includes the operation that can be applied to the individual object, similar to the individual entities in an entity set of the class. The operations are not specified in an ER diagram. So in ER diagram will not represent the operations. So let us consider a class called as an employee. It has an attribute such as a name and the serial number, date of birth, sex, address, and salary. So the designer optimally specified the domain of the attributes with the specified by placing a colon followed by the domain name or the description. This illustrated by the name, sex, and date of birth, and the of an which belongs to an table called as an employee. And there is also a composite attributes is been modeled as a structured domain and is been illustrated by the name attributes of an employee. So there is also have an multi-valued attributes which has been generally modeled as a separate classes that has been illustrated by the location classes. So this is the diagram. This is what the diagram explains about it. So the relation types are called as an association in UML terminology. So in UML terminology, the relation types are called as, we'll call it as an association, and the relationship instance are called as links. So the binary association, that is called as a binary relationship type, is represented as a line connecting to participating to the class, and many optionals have a name. The relation attributes are called as a link attributes, is placed in a box that is connected to the association line by the dashed lines. So there is also another notation called as a minimum and maximum notation that is used to specify the relationship constraints, which are called as the multiplicity in the UML terminologies. So the multiplicity are specified in the form of min and max and an asterisk indicating that no minimum limits on the participations. However, the multiplicationcity are placed on the opposite end of the relationship. We can compare with the notations. In UML, the single asterisk indicates the multiplicity of 0 and single 1 indicates the multiplicity of 1. So the next is about a recursive relationship, is also called as a reflexive association in UML terminology. The role name is like a multiplicity or placed at the opposite end of the associations when comparing with the participating of classes. So the next is UML multiplicity or specified in the form of so in UML, there are two types of relationship. The one is called as an association and aggregation. So aggregation means representing a relationship between the whole object and its component part, and it has a distinct diagrammatic notations. So in the figure, you can able to model the location of the department and the single location of the project as an aggregation. So however, the aggregation and association do not have any different structure property, and the choice as to which the type of the relationship is to be used is somewhat subjective. So in ER model, both represent as a relationship. So UML also distinguish between your unidirectional and bidirectional associations or aggregations. In unidirectional cases, the line connecting the classes is displayed with the arrow to indicate that only one direction for accessing the related object is needed. If there is no arrow is displayed, the bidirectional cases is assumed, which is default. So by default, it will be a bidirectional cases. It means that no arrow will be represented. For example, if we have always expected to access the manager of the department, starting from the department objects, we should draw the association line representing the managed associations with an arrow from the department to the employee. In addition, the relationship entities instance may be just specified to be order. For example, we could specify that the employee object related to each department to the work for association should be ordered by their salary attribute values. So the association or relation names are optional in UML, and relationship attributes are displayed in boxes attached to the dashed lines, the line representing the association or aggregations. So the operation given in each classes are derived from the functional requirement of the application. It is generally sufficient to specify the operation name initially for the logical operation that are expected to be applied to the individual object of a class. As the design is refined, more details are added, such as the exact arguments for each operation plus the function description of each operation has to be specified. In UML has a function description and a sequence diagram to specify some of the operation details, but these are belongs the scope of our discussions. So next we'll discuss about the weak entities. So the weak entities can be modeled by using a construct called as a qualified association or qualified aggregations in UML terminology. So this represents both identifying the relationships and the partial keys, which is being placed in box attached to the owner classes. So this has been illustrated by the class called as a dependent class, and it has been qualified the aggregation to an employee in a diagram. So the next one is the partial key dependent name is called as a discriminator in UML terminology, since its value distinguishes the object associated with the same employee. The qualified associations are not restricted to model the weak entity, and they can be used to model their other situations in UML diagrams. So that's it. Thank you all. Hello, hi. Welcome to the session.